and welcome back to Jen Beauty. My name is Jennifer, and here on my channel I like to chat about makeup and beauty related content, and today I'm going to be ranking the eyeshadow products that I used in the month of April. Some of these are going to be new releases and a lot of them are not new releases. Some are new to me, and then some were just things that I wanted to try again from my collection. I try not to be all about buying the new, but still have a decent mix of reviews of new items if you are someone that is interested in just adding things to your collection that fit your style and your lifestyle. Obviously, I have a pretty big Colourpop collection, and I've kind of cut back on how much Colourpop I'm ordering because there's just no possible way to keep up with the releases that they do. And I'm trying to be more specific to my taste and what I think I would like, and not just buying everything that they release. Anyways, that's enough of an introduction. Let's go ahead and get into the ranking. At number 13, I have the Luxie Shimmers, and I have to say, the shades that I've tried so far, I don't know if it's me or if it's the shadows, but they're leaving me a little less than impressed. I would like to try them a few different ways, like with a few different bases. I do have oily eyelids, and sometimes it can make shimmers just completely disappear. These are the colors that I ordered for myself. I also have some neutrals too that I haven't tried, but they're buttery soft and they swatch pretty nicely. I'll swatch a couple of these. Like this one's Glass Slipper, and that one's like a pretty little topper shadow. Top to bottom are Glass Slipper, Santa Monica, which is like this beautiful bright teal, Dark Waters, Withered Rose, which absolutely disappeared on my lid. I have no idea what happened. The next one, I believe, is Minion. I would expect that to be like a bright yellow, but that's the sticker that's on there. And then Ube, which is more of like a shifty topper shade, but I just am... They swatch nicely, but I just don't get the same payoff on my lids. These are more inexpensive shimmers, so they're not like some of the ones that cost, you know, $10 to $15 per shade. These are only, I want to say I paid like $2 a shade for them. So it may be an instance where you get what you pay for. They did have very fast shipping. Everything arrived packaged exactly as I would expect. You know, they were individually packaged, and then you have to buy your own palette separately. So I'm just using these Colourpop magnetic palettes that I got on sale. So for me right now, with the shades that I've tried, they are in the bottom spot, but I'm leaving myself open that that may be subject to change in the future. Okay, so enough about those. Next, I have the Sigma Eyeshadow Base Primer, and I have the color Persuade. So there are a lot of pencil eyeshadow sticks and different eye primers out there on the market. I felt like this was decent. Some people say that they use it on their own without any shadows, and I didn't find myself drawn to that. I tried with one eye look and I didn't care for it very much. And I have done more like subdued eye looks lately. I haven't really filmed with them, but I have done them when my parents were here. Just something simple, throw it on and go, so that I didn't spend all day in my beauty room. I wanted to actually spend time with my parents while they were visiting. But I just found that I definitely needed a shadow with this. And so as a primer, it's okay. For the price, I wouldn't say it's totally worth it. So that's why I ranked it a little bit lower. When I think about how I rank things, I'm going to think, you know, how is the color story? Or if it's a product like this, is it versatile like people claim, or the company claims it to be? And what is the packaging? So the packaging on this is pretty good. It's a twist up crayon, but mine did have a small chunk break off. I don't know if I'm just too hard on them or what, but anyway, it's a pretty color. It's a pretty neutrally pink color. And then if you're going to use it as a primer, you just kind of sheer it out a bit. So for someone very fair skinned like me, it shows up decently on my eye, but I still found myself just wanting something more. And then in the number 11 spot, this may surprise some people, but it is the Nomad Iceland Fire and Ice palette. Now, quality is pretty great. I found myself not loving this color story as much. So the quality is good, you know, Nomad quality. The packaging is beautiful, just like all the other Nomad packaging. For me, honestly, this was more just about the color story. I'm going to put it back in the rotation again, I think, in the fall to see how I feel about it, since there are some more fall tones in here, and possibly the winter. So we're not getting rid of this. She's not going anywhere. I love my Nomad palettes. And then the next one for me, number 10, is Wild Nothing from Colourpop. So this one I've used quite a bit, and I wanted to bring it back out and show it some more love again. Like I said, I was doing some more neutral eye looks. I really like this palette for just like a quick on the go. You can let it lean a little more warm, you can let it lean a little more cool. Either way that you go, you end up getting a beautiful, just simple eye look. And then I really like this shade. This, I think it's called Sultan. I like that for an inner corner highlight, especially with this palette, but also just with some other basic eye looks that I like to do. And I think I've used every shade in this palette at least once. I think my least favorite shade may be Alcove. It's just a little bit warmer than what I like in a shimmer for myself, but it's still a very beautiful shimmer, and these all perform very well. The packaging is, you know, it's like that nice raised Colourpop packaging, and then it even has the colors on the back as well as printed inside. There is no mirror, but when they don't put a mirror inside, they typically make up for it with some really pretty packaging. I have hand mirrors all around my beauty room. I don't really miss not having a mirror. If I travel with a fold-up mirror that it actually stays on my vanity, but this is what I travel with. If I travel, it charges and then lights up, so it doesn't really hurt my feelings when there's no mirror in a palette. And then at number 9, we have another Colourpop, and that is Off Melrose. Again, they have that nice raised packaging. It feels like they put more into it than just printing a pretty design on it. And they always do something on the front, on the back, and on the inside that tie together with the palette. So this is another nice neutral palette, but I get more of like a brown, smoky, like sultry look with it. And you can go more safe or you can go more sultry. Either way, you can definitely do something very nice with this palette. And it does lean more cool toned. You have this nice mauvey cool tone color and this nice deep brown. And then again, I like this as like an inner corner highlight to go with this look. And then there is this little duochrome. What are you? Fairfax? Yeah, Fairfax. To me right now, it looks more purple, and then in the viewfinder it looks more brown, like purple mauve, and then here it looks more brown. Great quality Colourpop formula. I honestly don't have too many palettes that I feel don't have the good Colourpop formula. I used one today. I finally found one that I know for sure is not like the Colourpop formula. Or at least it wasn't with the shades that I was using. I struggled a little bit with it. And then we have number 9, Ooh La La. This is one of their monochromatic palettes, and I held off on getting a lot of the monochromatics and then finally decided that I just wanted all of them that appealed to me. So I think I have 7 or 8 of them. And I used this one and really liked the look that I came up with for this one. And then again, it's just that good Colourpop formula. I don't mind the plastic packaging as long as it's one that securely opens and closes. This is not like the blush palettes where it's really hard for me to get it open. You know, it does have a tab here and enough room for you to hold on to it to be able to get it open. So this one I like. And then number 7, is anyone shocked? It's another Colourpop palette. This is the On a Whimsy palette. And again, you have that gorgeous raised packaging with the foiled accents. And then this one does have a mirror. It's a very pretty frame around the mirror. And then this is, again, another pretty neutral color story. And I liked the looks that I came up with this, and I liked having this little pop of blue. You may have this color story in your collection over and over again. If you do, then you probably don't need this. You could probably buy yourself a single of this nice white icing one and this blue shimmer and have a nice companion piece and still get the same looks with this. But since I own it and I used it, I like it. I'm not madly in love with it. Like if someone came in and were like, hey, we're taking a couple of your Colourpop palettes, and they took this one, I can't say that I would like stay awake at night wishing that they would bring it back or figuring out how to buy another replacement. But since I have it, I don't regret getting it, and we're like middle of the road here. And then now we're going to move on to the palettes that I feel are a little bit more unique in my collection, and the quality is amazing. I am very sorry to tell you, but at number 6, we have another Colourpop palette. This is the Darth Vader palette, and this one is one of the newer to my collection. I mean, it's a newer release, but it's a newer Colourpop palette to my collection. And I've used it, I want to say like 3 times now. And when I first saw it in pictures, I was not impressed at all. I didn't think I was going to buy it. But this shade right here, I love that dark, grungy, like, it's like a really dark red, almost black color. And then I also like that I can go the other direction and take it brighter. And then I can go in even other direction and I can take it more neutral and toned down. So I like the versatility. It goes from light to very dark, and it has a good mix of shimmers, and there are no pressed glitters. Were there any pressed glitters in any of these other ones? No. I have to double check myself. No. Okay, so Off Melrose does have 1 pressed glitter, so backing up to the number 9 spot, Off Melrose does have a pressed glitter, and then Wild Nothing does not. I typically do not end up with a lot of Colourpop palettes that have pressed glitters, but it's not the end of the world to me if they have a pressed glitter in them. I will give you a tip. If you absolutely hate their pressed glitters and you don't mind spending a couple dollars more, when their single shadows go on sale, pick yourself out a couple of complimentary shades to your palettes and pop out the pressed glitter and throw in one of the shades that you like. Just make sure they're the same pan size. The single shades, I'm pretty sure, are this pan size, not this bigger one like what's in On a Whimsy. I'll put them side by side so you can see the difference. I'm pretty sure their singles are this size. It's been a minute since I've looked at them, so I can't remember. So in the number 5 spot, I'm sure we are all shocked to know that it is another Colourpop palette. This is the Colourpop Mandalorian. And for me, the difference between the Mandalorian and the Darth Vader is that I felt like I got a prettier like look out of this one than I did this one. But honestly, I probably could rank them the same. So great formula, super cute packaging on both of them. Like they go all out. For you, it may just be a matter of what color story do you like better, or do you want them both? I promise we are going to get out of the Colourpop. There are no Colourpop in the top 3. However, there is the Colourpop in the in number 4, and that is the Lizzie McGuire What Dreams Are Made Of palette. I can't remember if this one is still available. They had it available for a long time. I thought it was going to sell out and be discontinued, but they did restock it several times. I feel like I've seen it at least at Ulta recently. I know the Barbie one is still available. So the Barbie one leans more warm. This one leans a little more cool tone, and they both are very bright. Not the same by any means. But I am a fan of both. I grew up on both. And I was able to do a pretty more like subdued but colorful look with this. I wanted to see if I could kind of push myself to use this green without making it like green. And I think I did okay with that. I did it for the Makeup Queens challenge. And this month was the Queen, Bethany Loves Eyeshadow. So this was for her challenge. Well, it's Lorraine Johnson Coleman that runs the challenge, but she was the queen, so it was her picture selected with a beautiful story about her mom and why she chose the picture that she did. So I really like the looks that I've come up with this. I can either go purple, I can go more on the pink side, more on the peachy side. I can throw in a hot green pop, or I can even go more neutral. And for me, even though it is a colorful palette, it is versatile. It's versatile enough that I like having it in my collection, and it's a good Colourpop formula. All right, so I promised you we were going to get out of Colourpop. In the number 3 spot, and this was difficult because I felt like I loved my top 3 palettes pretty equally. But at the end of the day, it's a ranking video. I love ranking videos. So I really wanted to not just do a tie every time I can't make a decision. So in the number 3 spot, I have the Sigma New Mod palette. This is a thing of beauty. I mean, just stunning. These are the colors that are just so in right now. This is the trend. It's very on trend, which is so unlike me. I love the packaging. I will say, I'm not typically a fan of this like crushed velvet packaging because I feel like I'm a mess, and I am so afraid to get this dirty because I just don't think it would clean very well compared to some of these other like cardboard palettes. Like I've gotten my grubby fingers all over the Colourpop Mega palettes, and they just wipe right up with a makeup wipe or with a little bit of makeup remover on a reusable wipe. In any case, the quality of these are fantastic. I think I've only used this twice now, but The times I've used it, I felt like I just got an amazing, gorgeous, sultry look. And I will say, I'd really like to swatch these two and see how incredibly different they are. Like this one does have that pop of like gold, but then this one has like a more classically bronze gold that I accidentally stuck the protector in, which sucked. But, and then this one has more like of those beautiful mauvey tones. So not the same thing, but I think this gets even further for me because of the gorgeous shimmers that are in it. This has pretty shimmers, don't get me wrong, but I think I like the Sigma shimmers better, and that's why it ranked higher. In the number 2 spot, we have the Nomad Paradise Islands palette. This thing is so gorgeous. I saw it get a little bit of flack for not having a lot of depth, but for me, I like looks that are just colorful. I don't necessarily have to have a lot of depth. And I was able to use this blue shadow, you can use this green shadow, or I've even used this darker purple as more of like a outer corner color. And I feel like I got some really beautiful looks. What I was going for was like pink and orange, and I think it turned out great. I loved the look. The packaging is so beautiful. So Nomad Cosmetics, if you're not familiar with them, I should have mentioned this when I did the number 11 palette. And if you're curious, this is the Iceland and this is the Paradise Islands. So this is a bigger palette, which it throws me off with my palette storage, but I have bigger problems, right? But Nomad Cosmetics, they travel around and design palettes based on the locations that they've traveled, many of them designed on location. So looking around and seeing like what colors can they pull from nature to inspire each palette. And I just feel like they nail it each time. Absolutely stunning. And the formula from Nomad is amazing. Like nice, buttery, blendable. Anyways, in the number 1 spot, this should not be a surprise to anyone that's been here for a second, which is as long as I've been here. I have, and this is not a new release by any means, the Glamlite Ice Cream palette, Ice Cream Dream. I really, 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 really wanted a pastel palette, but I also wanted it to be more than just a couple of muted pastels and a couple of shimmers. I wanted it to have a little bit more depth. I wanted to have some neutrals so that if I wasn't in the mood to think about how I could use all the pastels in one look, that I could do a more neutral look and then just throw in a pretty pastel or shimmer. So this hits the mark on everything. I think one of my favorite shades is Peanut Butter, this brown shade. It's so unassuming. And then my other favorite shade is French Vanilla, this white shimmer. And I will swatch a few colors. Top to bottom here is French Vanilla, which is the one I said I like to use as an inner corner highlight. There's also Peanut Butter, which is a great transition shade. Gelato, which I absolutely love, love, love. Purples, and that is like the perfect purple shimmer. And then Strawberry that I haven't tried yet. There are a bunch of review videos, I'm sure, floating around about this palette, but I'm pretty good about most of the time putting things on my wish list and waiting to purchase them either during a sale or getting them as a gift or just a surprise for my husband when he feels like it, and not just running out and buying things as soon as they are released, because I don't think that that is a very healthy way to live, which I know is challenging when you're someone that wants to do YouTube videos, because a lot of it is the new and now and people are looking to you to review things. But I just, first of all, I don't have the money to buy everything new that comes out, but I am interested in buying 1 to 2 new releases per month. And anything outside of that just has to go on a wish list for a later date. Preferably a sale date when it rolls around. So I'm curious, what did you try in April that stood out for you? Were there any standouts, or were there any old favorites that you rediscovered with the changing of the seasons? If the seasons change where you are. We had snow in April, like not just the 1st of April, but like middle of April. I don't know what that was about. So I was trying to get in the spring mood, but as you can see from some of these more like sultry brown looks, I kept like reverting backwards in seasons, which sultry brown is totally in and appropriate for any day of the year. I just typically am more drawn to the sultry browns like during the colder months where I'm just like all nice and cozy and don't want to leave my house. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you made it this far, I really appreciate your attention and giving me your time out of your day. It really does mean a lot to me. If you like this video, go ahead and please give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more makeup and beauty content from me, hit that subscribe button and I'll have more makeup and beauty content coming at you. I hope wherever you are, you have a beautiful and wonderful day. Bye. How many Colourpop palettes did I even try this month? 7. 7 palettes this month. I mean, I feel like that's excessive, but at the same time, is it? If like 85% of my collection is Colourpop, then it would make sense that I would be using Colourpop palettes. What brand should I buy next? I have something from Adept Cosmetics. That's it. I have something from them on the way. Well, I ordered it. I don't know when it's being shipped. I should pay better attention to that. I feel like it might be being shipped next week or the week after. Ooh, the wind is blowing and it's really nice outside. I'd say squirrel because I'm distracted, but I don't think we have squirrels here. We have groundhogs. The other day when I was driving, I left my neighborhood and a groundhog crossed in front of me. And all I see is his little butt wobbling back and forth in the grass. And then on the way back, a goose like kamikazed in front of the car in front of me and almost didn't make it. And then a freaking black snake was trying to cross the road and I just barely missed it by like straddling my tires over the snake. And I look in my rearview mirror and I see him going back into the grass like, never mind, no thank you. So I think it's finally warming up here enough for the wildlife to be like out of hibernation and trying to like go and do things, but they need to like be careful of the cars, man. They're gonna eat it and I don't want to see that. I don't want to be the one to like make them eat it, but I don't really drive that much, so it's probably not going to be me. Watch, I say that and then I'm going to accidentally hit something the next time I drive. And then I'm going to have to come on here like, well, it's my fault. I said I wasn't going to. Anyone have any animals? I have 3 cats. This is Misty. We also call her Squeakers because when we pick her up, she squeaks at us. But she's my baby. She follows me everywhere. Like I was working before this in my office and she was sleeping on top of my desk. And now she's been sleeping in the window. She's mad at me because I took her out of the window. She's such a sweet baby though. We also call her Pancake because when she lays down flat, she gets as flat as she can to the surface, like a pancake. So, you know, you have cats that sit like a loaf. Not her. She's like a flat loaf. Like a pancake. Misty. Who's a pretty girl? Are you a pretty girl? Yeah. But my daughter calls our other cat that sits like a loaf, she calls him Potato. I didn't teach her that. She just thinks he looks like a potato. He's not dumb. He's really smart. He's the only one that acknowledges his name. Like, not sure what that is. I guess I have to go back to work. I don't really have any bloopers this time, so I figured I would just sit here and chat for a minute and figure out what I wanted to use from that footage. And now I'm just sitting here like wasting time because I don't want to go back to work. You know, when I say that I hope you're having a beautiful and wonderful day, I actually mean it, because I know that for some people, the only way someone tells you to have a nice day is either when you're out in public, which who does that much anymore, or when you're watching a video and they tell you that they want you to have a nice day. And I really do want you to have a nice day. When I was really depressed, I would have appreciated somebody telling me that they cared about me. So if you feel like nobody cares about you, there is someone, this girl. And I'm not better, but I'm nowhere near as depressed as I used to be. Ooh, I wonder if my anxiety medication has been delivered yet. Yeah, we're adding another medication because, you know, why not? All right, well, genuinely, I hope you have a fabulous day. And if you're struggling right now, I want you to know that you're not alone and you are worthy of reaching out to someone for help. And I hope you do that. Bye for real this time.